beautiful soulpreneurs. This is Selena Ella Moon, founder of the Soulpreneur Institute. I am an intuitive guide and a business coach for many. I'm passionate about helping businesses that are here to create the new earth frequency. I love working with business owners who are on the spiritual path, who recognize that this is a beautiful journey of enlightenment. And today I want to do an oracle reading for you to help you connect your purpose to your abundance. And so I'm using two specific oracle cards. One is about your purpose. The other one is about abundance. So the golden future is the one that we're going to be connecting with your purpose on. And then the one that's connected to abundance is called divine abundance. All right, so let's see what cards come through for you today. I really feel like it's so important that we are able to connect with our purpose in this lifetime and to be able to really own what we came here to be and how we came here to show up. So the first card that's coming up is creativity. I love this card. Oh my goodness. Let me just relax for a second because I'm so passionate about this topic. I feel like we can talk for hours. Okay, creativity excites me because I really do believe that the new earth is built on this creative structure. So if you are somebody that feels like you have so much creativity in you, like worlds of creativity in you, then you are watching the right video, because this card is telling me right now that your creativity is here to birth the new earth. And what I mean by that is that everything that you do from this creative space, whether it's making jewelry, whether it's art, but you know, it's not just that. Sometimes coming up with creative strategies is just as powerful as painting or drawing or coloring, or making sculptures or whatever it is. There is an essence to you that comes out in your creative approach, okay? The essence that comes out through your creative approach, when somebody even merely just walks by it or feels it, they're getting amplified in some manner. There's an amplification process that happens for people through your creativity. The parts of them that are meant to embrace the new earth frequencies get amplified in the presence of your creative expression. So if you are an actor, or you are a singer, or you are a dancer, or you are even just an AI artist or some form of digital creator, you have the power to infuse your essence into the work that you do, so that everybody that has the opportunity to cross paths with your creation is going to be extremely up-leveled. Okay. And this is how you weave your essence into the planet, is through your creative outlets. So it's very important that you allow space and playfulness and time to jump into these creative aspects of yourself. And this is going to be really important. For those of you guys who play music or listen to music, this is going to be really important as well, because the sound frequencies that come through are also going to start shifting everything on this planet. As we know, everything in nature has a sound. The sun even has a sound that we can't hear. Did you know that? So everything about nature has a sound, and also the sounds that you create when you're creating them from that really wholesome place. Some of you guys channel angels through your music. Some of you guys listen to binaural beats and are able to access angelic sounds and angelic frequencies, or other frequencies from other dimensions and planets that speak to you. You are sensitive to sounds, and that your sounds are also going to have that kind of impact. I'm also getting that some of you guys have a very powerful throat chakra. The frequency of your voice is so powerful that when those their ears touch the sound of your voice, they are illuminated in some capacity. It might not be through direct words that you say. It might not be even through a direct comment that you make, but just hearing your voice itself, just the sound of your voice, can actually impact somebody beyond your awareness and even beyond their awareness. So don't expect everyone to understand what's happening when they cross paths with what you have to offer. It's very important to trust yourself and trust what you've been given and know that it's making a difference. You are here to spread the light of the unicorns. The unicorns represent miracles. They represent magic. They represent a life where we can have everything that we dream of. When we step into the miracle energy, the unicorns come in in and they show us that we can create the impossible. We have the power to create an entirely new existence, and we can all just do it in the way that we're guided. For me, you know what? I'm really, really, really guided to help people who are creating businesses do that from a place of love. In fact, the next card that came out was Illuminated Masters. This card is all about being a spreader of love. If you're somebody that does everything with love, you're going to start reaping rewards for this love that you put out. You're going to get karmic blessings that are going to enter your life, and you're going to realize that you're on the right path, okay? So when we're doing things from a place of love, that doesn't mean manipulation. That doesn't mean power. It doesn't mean greed. It doesn't mean codependency. It doesn't mean we have to show off in an unhealthy manner. It doesn't mean bragging. It doesn't mean being better than other people. It doesn't mean competing. It doesn't mean any of what we've been taught. It doesn't mean that you have to win the gold star. It doesn't mean being an achiever. It's not about that, right? When you're in the new earth frequency, we're actually here to spread love in the way that our essence came here to spread love. And we're all here to spread love in so many different ways that we might not even understand it. But the love that we have in our heart can go a really long way. And it's not always this overt gesture. You know, I think our society really puts on a pedestal people who give to charity or people who are always happy or whatnot. But like, that's not the kind of love that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the subtle love, the aura of your heart, and all the compassion and all the love that you feel for yourself, for the earth, for people, that just emanates through you wherever you go, right? It's not always that you need to have a loving conversation or save the day or, you know, do a big charitable donation to experience that love. Those are all versions of it potentially, but a lot of people who are doing those things aren't even coming from love. They're just coming from morality. I'm talking about those of you guys who have established a solid heart. You've done the inner work. You found your capacity to create a strong connection with your heart in such a manner where nothing and nobody can take you down. You're so aware that we're all one. You're so aware that we're all connected and that you're here just to uplift through the work that you do, that nothing else can touch you. It's almost like you become so protected just because you emit this aura, right, of love. And this is really going to get you on your ascension path. All right. So for those of you guys who are resonating with this, let's talk about your abundance and how this connects to all of this, because obviously being a powerful, creative person, you need to be able to create abundance for yourself. And this is not just about you creating it, it's about co-creating it with the divine. So the first card that came out here is called Liberation. The doubts and fears still come up. You don't believe anymore that they're you. So when we go through this ascension process with our material gains, what happens is we start doubting. Oh my goodness, am I capable of holding on to this? What am I going to do with this new coming wealth? You know, whenever I do wealth work on people, I find that their fear is actually connected to what's going to happen when they get wealthy. And they have a bigger fear about being wealthy than being broke. And so what I find is that people are actually afraid to be wealthy because we have associated wealth with power. And a lot of the spiritual communities have disowned money and wealth in a lot of ways. And I don't belong to any of those communities because I have different beliefs about that. I actually believe that when we are strongly in our spiritual nature and that we are grounded and that we are fully anchored into the divine love, we are also extremely capable of receiving divine inheritance through wealth and financial support. And we go through many cycles in life, and we're able to recognize the wealth cycles that we're in and embody and embrace them, despite whatever things look like on the outside. We're going to have highs and lows, but the more we ground ourselves and purify ourselves and connect back to the truth, which is we all deserve to have infinite wealth in our lives and that God does support us in creating wealth. And as long as we are doing it with new earth frequency, we are creating from a place that feels delightful, it feels purposeful, it feels fulfilling, it feels aligned, and it doesn't feel icky, right? How many people who go from, the corporate world or just the matrix way of doing sales step into spiritual entrepreneurship and they feel icky about their sales? Well, that's because those belief systems are from that old energy that you're trying to bring into new energy. It's not going to work. So we talk a lot about this in my Soulpreneur Institute. I even have a class in there. It's like a big upgrade class. It's like 12 hours called New Earth Money. And the people that have taken that class have had radical shifts in how they approach money. And it was a 12-hour course that was channeled through years of suffering that I went through to be able to understand how does money work with God in the new earth. So if anyone's interested in that, definitely check out my website, join Soulpreneur, and you can get upgraded through that class. It is an upgrade class. It is a paid class in there because I was told that it's not for everybody. Okay. So if this class is really like my biggest treasure that I've ever created, I think. Loss is coming up. So sometimes you learn true offering through loss. You make a passionate invitation for love to take over and bring her own plan instead of the ego's, right? So part of this is understanding, like, I think a lot of us need to make peace with the losses that we've had in life. A lot of times we feel like when there is a loss that we've done something wrong. You know how many people ask me, my deal went through with my investor, or things didn't work out with my potential sponsor, or the collaboration didn't go well and I lost a lot of money, right? Okay, but you know, this loss was there to teach you something. It wasn't there to hold you hostage in this thought process that you are just deserving of nothing. It was actually there to help you become aware that you are deserving of everything, so long as you increase your awareness of how you are meant to show up. And a lot of times when we lose because we lacked discernment somewhere, we lacked boundaries somewhere, we had an attachment somewhere, we had a non-divine agreement. It was with a soul contract and the soul contract ended, but that doesn't mean that we're without. The interpretation that we're without really can wreak havoc in our bodies, as we know. And in order to maintain a long-term entrepreneurial journey, you have to be able to withstand loss, because loss comes to everybody, you know, in some way, shape, or form. Loss comes to everybody, but when it comes and it goes, our job is to step deeper and deeper into love. The more we are connected to our hearts, the more we are connected to love, the more that we start to embrace wealth and financial well-being, because we are doing things for the right reasons. We are doing things from a wholesome place, not from a fragmented place, not from a place of fear, not from a place of obligation, not from a place of lacking discernment, not from a place of attaching ourselves to a particular outcome or situation, but from a place of just having that inner knowing that my love is enough. Your love is enough to catapult you into wealth. And that's all you need to know. All right. So some of us here need to make peace with loss. We need to be able to recognize that loss is a gain. When you're spiritually attuned, you can learn more about that. Okay. Again, if you guys want to work with me, we can go into your lost story and help you clear it. Also, worthiness is coming up. So you've been worthy to belong to love all along without any need to improve. In fact, you are love itself. I got chills. Oh, let's just take that in for a second. You are love itself, right? So when you are love itself, that means that you're worthy. You belong here, and that there's nothing. I'm just looking at this really cool image here. I don't know what you guys see, but I feel like this energy of like deep levels of confidence and strength and awareness, and like just this knowing that I'm here and that's enough, and I'm worthy and that's enough. And I feel like this is ultimately what it all comes down to, is knowing that regardless of whatever waves are being made in our external world, to always come home to this. This is our home. This is what we need to hold dearly in our heart, that we are worthy, respected, you know, irrespective of what's going on. Now, there's two more cards I want to go into. Funny, that one is actually love. Companionship. Okay, so giving someone your complete presence is an astonishing gift. All right. Like, I had to open my heart to start doing these readings. I got to be honest with you. I felt like these readings were asking of me something that I just didn't feel like I had to give. All right. And it's because it's like using my intuitive awareness, and my intuitive awareness is like my personal gold mine. And I do sometimes hoard it. And it's because I have stories around what happened in the past when I overgave it, right? But I have developed healthy boundaries since, and I have shifted as a person since, and I have really learned a lot. And so now it's like I've been guided to just trust myself, to put my intuitive gifts back out into the world. And it's required me to step up and really be generous with it without feeling like I'm going to get used or abused, like, the stories I have from my past. So this for me is really cool for many reasons. First of all, I'll just give you a little reason. There's elephants in this picture, and I love elephants. So I'll be just frank with you. I'm not a really big fan of any of the decks I use for entrepreneurship. I feel like entrepreneurship, especially spiritual entrepreneurship, deserves its own essence and its own channel decks. And so I've been writing one called Angels and Elephants, and it's not fully published yet, but I'm experimenting with it within my Soulpreneur Institute. And these elephants really remind me of some of the cards that I've been channeling. And it's just this notion that there's like a companionship to your journey that you can embrace. A lot of times we feel really isolated on this journey, but when we can actually open our hearts to each other, just like I had to open my heart to being here with you today, we can actually see how our complete presence is a game changer for other people, and how being present with others is such a gift, not only to ourselves, but to the people that get to receive us. And it helps to amplify the vibration and love on the planet when we do this. I had this one class in Soulpreneur where I was talking about how when we just give like breadcrumbs out to people, we only receive breadcrumbs, but a lot of people give out breadcrumbs and they expect like so much out of it, right? And I totally am guilty of that too. And I've been working on that. And it's like really being able to recognize that if you want someone to value you, if you want someone to really honor everything that you have to offer, you have to be willing to give it all. You cannot hoard parts of it, right? And so this is so important in your journey, to be able to really honor that you have a presence about you, and that it's important that you don't breadcrumb that presence when you're with people, okay? Last, look at this, like how like I can't even think of a better way to end this reading. We literally have the love card, okay? It says, divine source is the idea that no person, place, or thing is your salvation. Only love itself. Whew, what a beautiful way to end this reading. I mean, it just covers everything we just talked about in a single card, that nothing outside of you is more important and powerful than the love inside of you. All right. So for those of you guys who resonate with this, like, subscribe, share it with your other loved ones, ensure that you are consistently growing on your entrepreneurial journey. Know that I love you, and I'm sorry that I took so long to come out into the world to share my gifts in this way. I've been hoarding my love. Oh, so hard to admit, but so true. Anyways, I'm a new mama, trying to balance it all out, but this is exciting times for us all. So sending you guys lots of love, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.